Hey, good morning. Happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. I am the host, Marisha LaShay, and it's so good for you guys to tune in with me this Monday morning. If you are a returner, welcome back. If you are a newbie, thank you for coming. Newcomer, thank you for coming. It is so good to be here before you guys on a beautiful Monday morning. So, with that being said, first, give an honor to God who's ahead of my life. Second, being able to lock down 25 countries has always been a goal of mine. As I continue to grow, I want to lock down as many more as I can. And that is amazing. Of course, I found out the news on Friday, and I wanted to just share with y'all, um, let you guys know what was going on. Third thing is the listener base has increased as well. We're looking at over 1,600 listeners, and that's across all platforms. Um, yes, I'm amazed. I'm ecstatic. Everything is good, but we could always go harder and get those numbers up, right? So, with that being said, you guys, the first thing that we're gonna do to kick off this day is, of course, just giving a little insight about the Breakfast Show with Lachey and what's going on. Of course, you guys know that this show started off as an idea 4 years ago or whatever during COVID. My dad was my soundboard. Dad was my inspiration, along with God, just working with us or whatever. And dad was like, why don't you do it in a month that have 30 days? I'm like, okay, that's cool. That sounds like a good idea. Hence as to why this show only happens 4 times out of the year because it only happens in months that have 30 days, which are only 4 months. And those months are April, June, September, November. Today is day 14 of the Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. This show will be in effect for the next 16 days. So, with that being said, if you missed yesterday's episode, it's on YouTube, my YouTube channel. You can go back, you can check it out if you missed last week. You can go back, check it out. If you missed anything before that, go back, check it out. So, yes, with that being said, you guys, I'm definitely just ecstatic at the growth because in the next few months, I'll be celebrating 5 years that this podcast has been in effect, that this podcast has just been, just forward, moving forward. And it's just been an amazing experience, of course. You're going to have your ups and downs with everything, but I'm glad God kept me. I'm glad God was the leading person to just keep me going, keep me driven, keep me motivated. My supporters, my listeners, every time that I tried to stop doing this, you guys kept tuning in. You guys kept, just pumping me and gassing me up and, just allowing to use my voice for something positive and just telling other people around me, like my boss didn't even know I had a podcast, right? People didn't know that. But when I speak about, oh yeah, this is great, you know, um, it comes up, it definitely comes up. And I'm just ecstatic, you know. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do our mental check-ins. A mental check-in, which is basically how you're feeling at the start of your day, rated on a scale from 1 to 10. One being the worst day of your life and 10 being the best day of your life. Can you be below a 1 and above a 10? Absolutely. Because nobody is able to tell you how you feel about yourself at the start of the morning. So, you guys, with that being said, I am a reserve 9.5. I got up at 3 this morning and I had a couple things on my to do list. Got my lunch ready for work already, washed some dishes, made my breakfast, prayed to God, just kind of walked around the house a little bit, and just kind of just check it out, just kind of doing inventory for the morning. But though so far, it's just been very productive, a productive morning and a productive start, um, with how hectic the weekend was and whatnot. So, I mean, I'm just definitely grateful for the opportunity to get before you guys every morning this month. So, with that being said, I want to go ahead and jump into what the actual question is for today. The question for today is, what is GPA? What is GPA? Those letters. GPA. It stands for grade point average. It's the number that shows how well you're doing in school based on your grades. So, how does GPA work? Okay. You earn a grade, it has a number value associated with it. If you earn an A, that's 4 points. Okay. If you earn a B, that is 3 points. If you earn a C, that's 2 points. If you earn a D, that's 1 point. And if you earn an F, of course, that you're not getting any points for that is zero. Okay. So your GPA is going to be the average of those numbers across all the classes that you're taking. So let's start with middle school, for instance. This is where they first, start seeing a GPA and knowing, what's going on. So here's my example. Let's say you got an A in math, okay, that's 4 points. A B in English, that's 3 points. A A in science, 4 points. And a C in history, which is 2 points. We will add 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2. It'll give us an average of 13. And we will divide that by the 4 classes that you are taking, which will give you a grade point average of 3.25, which is a B average. So let's talk about the different averages, that will mean. If you have a 4.0, of course you have an A average. Anywhere between like a um 3 and up, 3.0 is a B average, 4.0 is an A average. Anything between 3.0 and 4.0, you are in between a B average and like B plus average or so, right? You just have a range. And then um anything between 2 and 3. If you're anything on the 2 side, of course, you're going to have a C average. Anything with the 1 point, of course, that's the D average. But I want to talk a little bit more about GPAs because that is the 4.0 is the basic scale. It's unweighed. And when we talk about unweighed, we're now stepping up into high school because high school, you have a different arrays of classes. You have your regular classes, but then you have your honors classes, and then you have your AP honors classes or dual credit. So we say a regular class, it'd be a 4.0. Honors class is a 4.5. AP or dual credit is a 5.0, right? So 4.0, 4.5 for honors classes, 5.0 if you're taking an AP or dual credit class, which is like at another college, at a college while you're in high school. So you get an A in a regular class, it's a 4.0. Honors class, 4.5. AP or dual credit, 5.0 is worth 5 points. B in a regular class is 3. In an honor class is 3.5. And then in a AP or dual credit is 4 points. C regular class 2, honors class 2.5, and a dual 3 points. D 1 point in regular class, 1.5 in an honors class, and for AP 2 points. Now this F in the regular class, 0. Honors class, 0. AP dual, 0. Okay. So with the way GPA scale for honors and AP, they're worth more points to reward the challenge that you're taking. what an honors class is not going to look like a regular class. The rigor is going to pick up. And when we talk about rigor, we're talking about the courses, what you're doing in it. These classes, honors classes, AP, dual graded classes, those classes are prepare you for college. And you normally have to be able to take a test at the end dealing with AP classes. Like I took some AP classes myself. So I definitely know. But why does GPA matter when it comes down to our children and just in general? Colleges look at it when you apply. Some jobs or internships ask for it. And scholarships and honors programs may have these GPA requirements for you, which is why it is important. A way GPA can make your GPA higher than a 4.0. Colleges often look at your way GPA and the rigor of your courses. If this could help you stand out and you take challenging classes and do well, honey, this could open the door for you. You know what I'm saying? GPA is not always the only determining factor when we look at our scholars, but it's one of the most prevalent factors. Another thing that they want to look at is your behavior. How are you? What are you doing in middle school? What are you doing in high school? Because if you're problematic, 9 times out of 10, they're not doing that with you in college. Honey, in college, you get records. Even as early as high school, you can get you a record. That's why it's very important to be aware of the people that you are surrounding yourself around, especially in high school, because you think that ain't nothing gonna happen to you. You got to be mindful. Being at school, your attendance, that is something as well, because if you missing 30 days, baby, what's going on? What's going on with you? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? I'm not up here acting like, I didn't skip school because I did, right? I'm not acting like, you know, this was the only thing I had to offer. GPA was one of the things, the academic side of me. But as a student, you have to be able to get your seat at the table. You got to be able to get chosen for scholarships. Well, what if I'm not the smartest person in the room? You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You have to be committed to your academics and show up and show out as you see fit to. But also, let me let you in on another secret. Don't just sit up there and do your academics. Find you a club to join. Find your sport to join. Find something that interests you, because in high school there's so much to offer. Um, Especially with sororities and fraternities having auxiliary groups like the Sigma Beta Club. I know the Zetas have a group, the Deltas have a group, the AKAs have a group, the Kappas have a group, which is the Kappa League, the Alphas have a group, the Omegas have a group. We all have groups and youth that we are all mentoring as a way to be able to shape them and mold them of having the opportunity to go to college like we did. But also our organizations give out scholarships according to that GPA. There are also scholarships that are geared towards certain GPAs, certain majors. So again, like yesterday I talked about going to college, but in order for you to be able to get a seat at the table, at the college table, GPA is one of those factors. As I was talking about you joining, showing your talent in these different organizations, Fashion Club, Ladies of Distinction, Men of Distinction. There are so many opportunities for our kids to get involved. Even at our local churches, they have programs. If you're running the production at church, talk about that. Talk about that. If you take care of elderly neighbor, talk about that. That community service is not just limited. Are you a Girl Scout? Talk about that. Are you a content creator? Do you do hair on the side? Talk about that. Everything that you do in life could be utilized or have a transferable skill. Talk to your guidance counselors. Talk to your parents. Reach out in your community to different groups and organizations that are hosting these college fairs, going to college fairs, college tours. Go and find out what's going on. Get on the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram. Look what the colleges are doing because right now we are talking about our kids. I teach middle school and we are talking to our kids about merit, talent, voice when they have to write these personal statements. But we drawing it back to the GPA because again, grades do matter. Grades do weigh a lot when we talk about GPA. When we talk about what have you been doing to, make yourself a better person or your different interests that you are exploring. That's what's going to get you a seat at the table. That is what's going to be able for you to speak on your behalf, to advocate for yourself on why you should be in this school or at this university or at this college. It's because you have something to bring to the table. You have experience. Oh, I was president. This is an example. Oh, I was president over the National Honor Society. I was also playing soccer, basketball. I was also in part of the English club. I was also a part of the pre-med club. You are setting yourself aside from your peers because everybody's going to come with GPA, but then they're going to start looking at what type of activities were you involved in? What type of leadership roles have you had? We all, if you've been to college before, if you've gotten a graduate degree, apply for a master's, okay, where your degree at, but where is the GPA at? Same thing with interning on a college level. Your internship can weigh on a GPA. You got a 3.0 or better, you got a 3.5 or better. Even when you're trying to become a part of an organization, they're asking for a certain GPA requirement. It's a national requirement because, again, all organizations want to know that they have somebody that is committed to their academics, but also to the service in their community and where they can serve and use those transferable skills into a job related task or so forth. Because, again, GPA, experience, internships, college, just experience opens the door, y'all. Opens the door. So if you guys have any other questions, definitely feel free to reach out. Definitely hit me up, let me know. Y'all, that's all that I have for you all today. I hope today was very insightful for you as you are on your journey. For those who are tuning in, listening, definitely feel free, ask those questions, get some clarity, get some guidance. But y'all, I'm out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this beautiful Monday morning. Love y'all. Talk to y'all tomorrow, same time, same place, coming with a different question, of course, and different attire. So yes, y'all. With that being said, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.